Yeah, hello everyone. So this is Jitendra Kumar, and I have around 15 years of experience. And from last more than 4 years, I'm working in Sitecore. So recently, like from a year back, I started working on the Sitecore commerce. So I thought, like whatever I learned, I can share with the Sitecore community. So, and Arindita correctly said, like, there are a lot to be explored inside core commerce. So, even we are also in the learning stage. So, let's get started with the site core commerce. So, the agenda of this, for this, the web session is to, have so we'll discuss about a little bit on the Sitecore commerce architecture. Then we'll talk about the commerce role indexes and databases, like what all the commerce role we have in how many indexes being created, and how many database are being used for the Sitecore commerce. How we can the next thing would be the Sitecore solution component, like how the customization for the site core commerce we can do, and what are the preliminary things required, how you can set up your solution and all. Then we'll talk about the site core commerce business tool. So this is basically uh, another web application which helps to maintain the back Sitecore commerce backend things. Then we'll talk about the Sitecore commerce content tree, like how the it is different and what is the the things for the in Sitecore commerce. And then we'll talk about the Sitecore SXA storefront, which is the out of the box websites is being when you install the Sitecore commerce, the Sitecore SXA storefronts gets installed and created, so you can see the the commerce or e-commerce websites running in your local machines. So let's start. So yeah, so I don't know why. So the first thing is like the Sitecore commerce architecture. So when you install the Sitecore commerce, so in your eyes, you can see these many of the websites installed in your local machines. So basically, these three Sitecore, SXC 911 in identity server, local, and Xconnect. So these are the the Sitecore. When you install the Sitecore, it comes. So somebody said like they are not able to share. So I'm going to share again. Mm, I believe now you can see my screen.
I mean, PowerPoint.
Yeah. So I believe everybody can see my screens now. The PPT. Yes. So this the Sitecore command when you install. So the last three would be installed by when you install only the Sitecore. So when you install the Sitecore commerce, you will see the another the five instances in your Sitecore IIS, the Sitecore commerce authorizations. Then we'll have a Sitecore commerce minion. Then we'll have a Sitecore commerce oops and sops. And then at last we would have a Sitecore beach fix. So basically when these all websites get installed when you install the Sitecore commerce, and it's work connect in a connected mode. But so the next question is like why we require these many of the the websites. So Sitecore commerce is based on the the a microservices architecture. So every piece of independent piece of things we Sitecore commerce has a scale up and have created another website, so that the performance and the segregation can works properly. So So what the these what are the uses of these the websites? So as you can see here, like the authorization is the uh, for the CM guys. So whatever you are uh, creating in a site core commerce to maintain, so basically what will you do in Sitecore commerce? So Sitecore commerce will be giving you the facility to sell your products over the websites using the storefront websites. So on a storefront websites, so you required lots the catalog, then you need the category and the the products. So and then you need to maintain your customers, then you need to maintain your orders, and the promotions, pricing, inventory, these all are the things. So you need some your systems to maintain all these things. So authoring is being used for the from the CM people, or you can say the commerce authoring, where you can the people can create their these entities, like catalog, product, sellable items, you can say, or the inventory, pricing, on all these things. We'll elaborate little bit the later one on detail. Then we have a minions. So minions is nothing, it's a kind of scheduler for the commerce related activity. So it gets invoked and a certain interval, you can configure that that interval. So that is the minion. DevOps is for the for your maintaining, or the cleanup kind of activity. If you're doing, then you need the DevOps role. Then we have a beach fix here. So beach fix is nothing, it's a another application. This is pointing to the site code bfix 910. So it will be used for backend job, like not the backend job, for the backend system maintenance, like the creating a catalog and all. You already aware about the identity server. So here that is used for the for authenticating your for authentication only. So Bootstrap is here, like we'll talk about a little bit on the Bootstrap in maybe next slides. So here you can see, like how the the Sitecore commerce and Sitecore's connect and work internally. So here you can see, like this is a delivery systems, like the CD we have. So on a CD, we do not we require only the the content delivery system. Then we have a commerce engine connect, then connect or on SXA storefront. So these are the things we required for the delivery, or you can say on a CD instance. For the CM instance, like you can say the authoring, we required the obviously the CM sites. Then we need the business tools also comes into the authoring section. Then we need you can see here the authoring minions, and the identity server. These are the things which can be used by the on a CM rule. SOAP is basically used by the CD for content authoring. It is the authoring so rules comes into the picture. But if you are hitting your websites, then the website will be directly for any commerce related activities or information, they are directly hitting to this SOAP rule. Okay. And you can see here, like we have a commerce database as well. So we have currently two database, shared and global. So we'll talk about little later for these database in detail. So you can see, like we have a business tool, authoring, minion, soaps, oops, identity. I already talked about that in a little bit. So let's move on. So you can see here for the Sitecore commerce role perspective. So we have two databases, the shared databases and the global. So global is used for whatever you are uh, like for for running the Sitecore commerce, you need lots of the configurations. In technical term, we say like the policy in Sitecore commerce. But whatever the configuration we required to run in an integrated mode for the Sitecore commerce, all those configurations and the settings are available in the global. whatever you are creating as a transactional database, or you can say your to run your storefront, like you require a catalog, you require a customer information, you require order information, pricing, inventory. All these things would be available in the shared environment, but the database structure is pretty similar, like the shared environment and the global database. Both the structure are same, but they are keeping the shared environment is for the authoring roles, and the people are keeping their own data, and the global database is used for the configuration settings only. Then we have a commerce role. So on a high level, we have the SOAP, authoring, minions, and DevOps. SOAP, I already told you that, yeah, the SOAP is being used for the CD, and authoring, minions, and DevOps, these are the being used on a CM instances. One more thing here, like you can scale up the SOPs here. Like sometimes what happen is you scale up the CDs, but you don't scale up the SOPs. But in that case, the whenever you need the on a website, you need information for the site core commerce things. Internally we are making a call to the shop. So if your e-commerce website is pretty the high in terms of the uses, and lots of the people are using your website, then the pressure on the shops would be high. So you can scale up the shops role as well. In if you installing the site core commerce, then you can get 3 indexes created automatically when you are installing. So one of these is the catalog item, then the other item or order item, and the last one is the customer item. So these three are not supposed to use by the storefront. This is for the internal uses, like the we have a business tool. So business tool is using these the indexes, and maintaining of these indexes is done by the minion. So minion has this responsibility to keep updated these indexes. So this is all about the Sitecore commerce roles, indexes, and databases. So you can see here, like we have the shared database environment and the global database. And so you can see almost the databases, the structure is same. So I haven't put it one thing here in a PPT, but I want to tell you. So let me. So what will happen in if you go to the shared environment databases, all your customer entity, like the commerce entities is being stored in one table. Like either you are putting any like the you can see here you know the customer, if you have a customer information, it will go here. Here you can see the entity composite, it will out. So all the the commerce entities, whatever you are creating, it all stored in database. So sometimes what happened is, if your commerce the website is used by lots of people, and you have so many the customers here, so in that case this table becomes very heavy, and you can see the performance issue here. So Sitecore commerce provide you the facility to shard your commerce entities. So sharding the commerce entity means you know uh, you can scale up, like you can remove few of the entities, like you can see like the order and the customer information is like, if it is getting huge, then you can remove the customer's information from here, and you can put it in a different custom table. But the limitation of for that is, so the table definitions, like the table, like it should be similar to the catalog entities. Okay, so you can create a similar table like a catalog entities, and you just need few the configurations. So using that configurations, so after that whatever you are creating a customer, like the people are registering, doing the sign up. So after performing this activity, you know, the customer related, you know, the information will go in your custom database table instead of this data table. So if you are distributing your customer entities in different table using the commerce sharding, you know, the facility, then the, you know, the you are minimizing the number of records in this table, so that will help you in improving your performance. So basically commerce has policies, so and that policies keeping the information like what all things, you know, need to be go in which tables. So you can see here, when you go to this, you know, this commerce authoring rule, you can see the environment, the folders. So inside the environment folder, whatever we have, so like you can see 28 item, not 28, 27 items. So these all 27 items are the policies. So policy is nothing, it's just a, you can say the configuration file like the app settings we have usually. So these are the configurations files. So inside this configurations file, if you can open this one of the plugin.sql.sharding you know, the policy set file, you can see here this is the name of the table and this is the regular expression. So the basically this regular expression here you can define. If you can see here, I just want to tell you one thing. Oh, we already have it. You can see here all the customers related information is here. So what we need to do here is in this file, this in this policy file, you just need to add the entity dash customer and this configuration file. You can create your own table, that I already told you, like the structure of the table should be similar to the commerce entity, and you know, you can put it here. So now what will happen if you will add in this? So the moment you will add this in the configuration file, you know, it start, you know, keeping the, you know, the customer related information, you know, in your new table. But this is not the enough things. So whenever you are making any change in the licensing or, you know, the policy, even if you are, you know, making in a code, you need to do the bootstrap. So what is bootstrap now? So bootstrap is, so you are creating lots of custom, you are writing lots of custom code, and you're creating lots of, you know, the configuration file as well. So whenever you are writing, you know, creating a new DLL or updating your existing DL or writing your, you know, the policies, what you are just deploying, you know, on a particular folder or on a websites, but it is not sufficient for the Sitecore commerce. So you need to do the bootstrapping. So bootstrapping, using the bootstrapping, you are telling to the Sitecore commerce to refresh the policies. So whenever you are doing the bootstrap, so what will happen? There is a, you know, the table in global database, so that will gets cleaned up, and whatever, so they will, during the bootstrap, it read all these policies and configurations files and update their database. So whatever, so that means, so whenever you are making any change in the DLL or the commerce related DLL I'm talking about, or the policies, you need to do the bootstrap, then only you will see their impact on your websites. If you are not doing the bootstrapping, that means your changes is not reflect, will not reflect. The reason is because the policies database are, or tables have not updated it. So this is the bootstrapping, and you know, using this method, you can, you know, scale up your, or you can distribute your databases entity. Okay, so now come to the solution component. So when you see the commerce things, so we have a success storefront website, which is your e-commerce website. Okay, and internally we have a commerce engine. Okay, So commerce engine is nothing that's a authoring role, or you can say the SOP or minions, and these are the basically mainly the authoring and SOPs. So whenever this, since it is a CD like the content delivery role, so it will be pointing to the SOAP. So SOAP is a the commerce engine for here. So this is a success storefront. It is directly uh, uh, connected with the, so whenever you are making in need information, you are making a call to the commerce engine. So so you are directly connected with the commerce engine. We have a business tool as well. So inside the business tool, these are the component like the merchandising, inventory, pricing, promotions, customers and orders we have. So this is another application which is again is using the commerce engine only. So whatever you are updating here, it will go to the commerce engine. The SXS storefront means your e-commerce website is direct communicating to the commerce engine using the commerce connect core DLLs and the commerce engines layer. So and the commerce engine is nothing, it's a ASP.NET core applications, and it's based on the microservices, and it is hosted separately. So again the business role is nothing, it's a backend application where you can maintain these information like the merchandising information, uh, the inventory, pricing, promotion and all. So this is the your architecture component. So now the next thing is, so how, like, the Sitecore commerce, or you can say you can customize your Sitecore commerce things. So internally, whatever you are writing or whatever we have given by the Sitecore commerce, these all are the plugins. So for if you are going to the e-commerce things, then you have a cart, you have a catalog, you have a customers, order, promotion. These all are. So for each of the the business things, we have a plugin. So there are huge number of the plugins provided by the Sitecore commerce out of the box, but as and when required, you can create your own plugins as well. So whenever you need to customize your site for existing the commerce things, you have to write your own plugins. So and that plugins need to be deployed on all the four roles. All the four roles means authoring, minions, DevOps, and SOAP. So whatever you are writing for the Sitecore commerce things, the same build, same configuration files will go to all these four roles. Okay, so here you can see so whenever you are creating a plugin, so basically there is a Visual Studio extension. If you're using the extension template, if you create a the project, the or by default it will come like the command, component, controller, entities, model, pipeline and policy. These all comes together as per your requirement. You can keep few of the item, you can delete few of the items. So that is on completely depends on the requirement. So uh, here you can see like the policy is nothing, is just like a configuration file which I shown you little early, where all the configuration related to your plugins only is there. The pipeline is again the Sitecore pipeline. Model is for the model, about that. Entities, controller is, so basically from the what can you do from the plugins, and let's take some examples. So tax is one of the things that is need to be customized for each of the uh, the maybe sometimes if you're changing the state, if you're changing the country, you need your different kind of tax system. So definitely you have to create your own plugins, and you have to expose few APIs as well. So you can expose few APIs from here, and that can be consumed by your store storefront websites. So if you want to expose, you can create inside a controller. Even out of the box we have the catalog, the attributes, lots of attributes are available, but it is in 99% of the scenario, whatever the the attributes we have in the Sitecore commerce, it is not sufficient. You might have to create few more custom attributes for your products, just like the GST, because every product kind of project have their own kind of GST taxing system. Okay, you might have to keep few of the information which is for which you are not finding any field inside the Sitecore commerce. So you might have to extend that the sellable, or you can say the product in commerce. So for that there are couple of phases. So either you can do from the plugins, or we can have a composer as well. So using that composer you can create your custom templates, and you can associate with any of the commerce entity. So these are the way where you can create your own component or plugins, you can say, or create your own APIs which can be consumed by your storefront websites. So suppose you have created your own plugins here, and you have written your code. So what the next thing you need to do is, so in the same solution, because Sitecore provide a sample the solution as well for the commerce. So you can find the Sitecore commerce engine is a solution. So what you need to do, you need to reference that project here. This is a must thing that you have to do. If you are creating any custom pipeline, then you have to add here in the pipeline. So either you will be creating adding one pipeline in between, so or after and before kind of things. You can see the code here. You can add, like the where exactly you want to add. So there are two things you need to do. The one, you have to add a reference of that particular project here, and if you have created any pipeline, so you can, wherever you want to put in the pipeline sequence, you can put it here. You just need to add. Just two things you need to do here, and then you have to deploy this to your four roles, like the authoring, minions, DevOps, and SOAP. So you need to deploy it, and then, so after the deployment, again I'm telling you, you don't need to forget the bootstrapping thing. So bootstrapping can be done using the Postman. So so I believe you all are aware of the Postman. That is helpful for the testing your APIs. So using those that Postman, you can do the bootstrapping. So once you are done with the bootstrapping, whatever the pipelines you have created, whatever the customization you have done, the policy you have created, it will get refreshed in the commerce database, and you can see your changes over there. Okay, so this is the way where you can go and customize your Sitecore commerce things. Now let's talk a little bit more about the business tool. So in a business tool, what you can see here is, if you have successfully installed your Sitecore commerce, so what you can see this sections, like the business tool, which will be get added. So once you click here, the Sitecore commerce will get open. So first and you can see here, like the merchandising, the inventory, pricing. This is the business tools basically, and business tool is pointing to the Sitecore BizFix 910, and this application is for this UI. So whatever the the transaction you are doing, for each and every transaction, internally it is making a call to the authoring. Okay, so the BizFix is just a UI website. And for each of the activity is internally making a call to the authoring. So you can see here, we have business tools here, and using these business tools, you can maintain and create your own the inventory and all, or catalog. So the very first thing is, the merchandising, where we can create a catalog. Catalog is nothing, only, is just a grouping of, the category and your sellable items. So when I'm saying a sellable item, means a product. So catalog can have a category, and category can have a category or a sellable item. So there is no as such concept of the subcategory technically, in Sitecore commerce. So basically, if some, you can create a category inside a category. Further, you can create a category again under that particular category. So as such, in a general term, you can say as a subcategory, but technically, or you are writing a code, there is no class you can find like with the subcategory. Okay, so just a hierarchical representation of the, your product is called a merch, is a catalog. And one websites, or the one storefront can be associated with one catalog at a time, but your business tools you can create n number of catalog. Suppose you have a websites, e-commerce websites, and it is running in a multiple country. So there are few, the products that might be not being sold in one country, and but in another country you might be selling. There must maybe some, the company wise policy, there's some, their product combination is not matched with the country specific. So there can be n number of reason, and whatever the reason, but it's not being, even the currency, and even the taxation system is different. Just because of that, the pricing would be different. So basically, the ideal situation is like, if you have a different storefront, then you should have a different catalog, and one storefront can have one catalog only. Okay, then and this again, this the catalog is again having the out of the box workflow system, where you can say the first is the draft, and then you can submit in, then it will go for the approval. Once it gets approval, it will be get published. So until and it is not approved, the storefront will not be showing that. So once it get approved, then you have to go to the you have to publish your catalog. So whenever you are making a change, and after the approval, if you want to send that, the catalog information to the live websites, you have to go and you have to re-index your web index. So this is the required. So without rebuilding your web index, it will not be visible. Okay, then we have an inventory. So basically, in again, this is a business part of the business tools. So in inventory, here you can create your own, set of how many items you have for that. Even you can set your, the pre-order, and the things as well. Like suppose some product is being launched on maybe in a next month. So you can tell to the business tools, like, it would be available in the next month, but before launch, before 15 from the before a launch of, the 15 days before, it would be available for the purchase. So before the 15 days, the people can see, the products over the websites, but the delivery will be happen later on. So such kind of, the configuration you can do here. You can see the pre-order order. So even you can say, even how many items you want to be sold on a pre-ordered, the for the duration, that you can also set here. So this is an inventory. Okay, then the next thing, we have a pricing. So you can see here, like, the by default, you set the, while creating a catalog, you can put your some prices. But let's suppose, like, the Navratra is coming, or maybe the Diwali is coming in a month. So for the Diwali session, you want to create a price snapshot. So in that case, what will happen? So in what do you want? So you want to give some, change your pricing. So you want to decrease the pricing so that during the Diwali you can sell it more. So for that, you need to create a pricing snapshot, and you have to attach with the with your catalog, so that, and you have to define your dates as well. So automatically when the date reach, the new pricing would be applied automatically. So you don't need to write any custom code to see the price for the Diwali or these promotion. So the Sitecore commerce engine is giving you the APIs that will always return your pricing or inventory information as per the current date. So you don't need to write any custom code to get that informations. Okay. Again, we have a promotions as well, like you can out of the box, there huge number of the promotion is available. Like you can create a promotion based on the cart value. Like if you have a 5,000, uh, the value of your cart is 5,000, then you can use 10% discount, or maybe you can get you can provide the discount on a item level. Item level means your product level. So whatever kind of the promotion you want, you can set it here. You just need to, that also need to go from the workflow stage. Once it's get approved and published, it will get impact. So you can create a promotion from the business tools as well. So composer is a very good, I would say, the uh, stuff in Sitecore commerce. See, I little early I told you about the extending the sellable, or the commerce entity. So suppose you have a customer information, and you are keeping the customer information. We have lots of attributes available, but you might have to store few information which is not available. Then you have to extend the customer information entity. So either you can write your code using the plugins, and you can do it. But there is another way out, which is called a composer. If you are doing the composer, you don't need to write a single line of code to extend your uh, in a commerce entity. Either it is a customer entity, or it is a sellable item entity, or is a category entity, or a order, any entity. You don't need to write a single line of code. You just go to your business tool. There are some simple steps you can go and create your. So here you can see, like I have created one custom product templates, where we have the ingredients or user instructions, which is usually not available with the product. So you just need to create a template here, and you can associate this template with any of the commerce entity, and that's all. So now once you associate that property, whatever you have added in this custom composer template, those properties, or you can say the attribute, will start displaying on that. So you don't need to write a single line of code there, but definitely you have to write some code to get those information, so that you can display on your websites, like on a storefront site. Okay, so now the next thing is like the content tree. So here you can see we have a content tree. So let me move here, then I can show you here. So we have lots of the commerce related the configurations is required. So for that, when you install the Sitecore Commerce, there are so many things gets created, and you can see on these, like Sitecore Commerce template, again the some commerce component, default commerce workflow. These all are the Sitecore Commerce related things. So here you can see. Here you can see we have a storefront. So if you have multiple storefront, you have to create one more storefront here under these storefronts. So every storefront have their own set of info, the configurations. Here you have, the catalog information, which catalog is associated with this storefront, country, regions, storefront configuration, the currency, email, fulfillment, like, the what kind of, the pay, how, what are the methods you have for the payment things. These are all you can configure here. We have, so basically this is the commerce related configuration will come here. If you go to the, even in a template, you can find the commerce connect. Here you can find the commerce. Here these all are the commerce related things you can find. Okay, so in today's world, like, there are two way to do the, your build your storefront websites. The one is the SXA based storefront, like, where you can use the existing SXA component, commerce based component. You can drag and drop, little bit configuration and data source need to be added, so you can add and you can make your website up and running. The other way out is like, if the your the storefront, you don't want to use the storefront, then while installing your Sitecore commerce, you have to remove your SXA storefront module from your installation script. And then in that case, these, the only the commerce specific thing will come here, but the SXA related, the you will not find here any component kind of thing. So let me show you. Here you can see these are experience accelerator. So here lots of, the component is already created. These are the SXA based. So this will come only if you are installing the commerce with SXA. If you are not installing the SXA module, then it will not come. You have to write your own code to do this, make this component. Okay, so here you can see this is a, the storefront websites. Here you can see this is a cart. Basically here this is the area where, all the categories are coming. So in ideal conditions, rarely you will see only the category information here. If you see the requirement, there are multiple, the menu would be there, where, all the digital or promotion or company related information would be there, and one or two, the menu would be available for the commerce related thing. So in that case you need to, the customize your header as well. But when you install the Sitecore commerce, and default SXA will providing you this, the navigation, which is only listing down the all your available categories. Okay. So when you click on any of the categories, these sections will come. This is basically a product landing page, where you can see, like, the product availability, like is it in stock or not in stock, the pricing. And if you click on the details, you will go landed to the product detail page. Here you can see this is a number of item available in the cart. So if you go to the product detail page, you are clicking on the add to cart button, the that item would be automatically added into the in your cart, and it will be available here. So once you click here, a pop-up will come and will show you the uh, number of items available in the cart, like this. So from here, either if you want to go and see the how many items, if you want to make any changes in the selection, you need to go to the view card and check out things. So basically you all have aware about looking, everybody is using Amazon, and also you know these things. So that again you can see here, this is add to cart and all. Okay, so I'm done. I believe I'm on time. So if anybody have any questions, I will try my best to answer you.
There are some questions in the chat. And if you can just make sure that those are addressed.
Okay. Can't see. Can we create custom SXA commerce component? Yes, we can create. We can create if you are creating the custom SXA component. This is similar to that, but only changes is, like, if you need any commerce related informations, either you have to use the commerce connect core in engines DLL, and you need to get your information. And if that information is not a, you are getting directly from the commerce connect DLL, you can write your own DLL, or the custom, you can expose your some APIs from the commerce engine. You can consume that API from your storefront, and you can display the information. Just one thing I would like to add here is, so whenever you are trying to use the API exposed by the commerce engine, you have to get pass the authentication. So currently there are two ways to get it authenticated from the commerce engine. One is the bearer, and the another one is the license, the license file. So the storefront out of the box code is using the certificate way to get it authenticate, but you can do from the bearer as well. Even when you are using a postman, the postman also use the bearer method to get it authenticated. So until unless you will not get authentication the token, then you will not be able to reach to those APIs. Then we have so I can see only that these questions. If you have any specific question, other question, I can answer.
Jitendra, this is Arun here. Able to hear me?
Yeah, Arun, I can hear you.
Yeah, thanks, Jitendra. Really, the session was helpful. So, I have one question here. Like the Sitecore XE by default support business to business implementation. I could see only business to customer related stuffs you were showing on the screen.
Yeah,
So I just
B2B is not supported, but yes, you can customize if you have the third party tools. Like suppose you want to create the catalog things on fly. Like you already have a ERP system where all the catalog is maintaining, and people are used to do that. So, and even the people are maintaining and that ERP only system. So you can create your own, you can write your own custom code. You can put in a minions, and that minion will be execute on a certain interval. It will make a call to that the third party, and get that information and update your catalog things. So that can be work from the minion side. So using that minion, you can do that.
okay. Thanks, Jitendra. I have a couple of questions more. So I recently had a chance to work with Sitecore Commerce. So many
Mhm.
times I see the environment got corrupted. So what we used to do is the way which you said, the restarting IIS and the bootstrapping usually fix the issues. So most of the time we see issues connecting to the XE from OData side, from XE to XP. So is it the same behavior which you anytime you come across, or is it a defect from XE itself so that we can talk to them, or how is it?
So I also face the same issue multiple times. Like when you're working, you're deploying your DLLs again and again, and after some try, it gets hang. Nothing is happening. Okay, so I also have to, sometimes I do restart, and work, it works. Sometimes I have to do the the cleanup environment cleanup, and do, and again do have to do the bootstrap, and then it works. So yeah, you can say it kind of a bug, but it happened. But it is not usually the every day it is happening. It is happening very rarely.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And I have one more questions too. Let's say for physical product, we can track the inventory of the number of products. Let's say
Hmm.
a company is selling these services. In that case, I don't want to, track the inventory. I want to just bypass that the method itself. So in that case, how you can suggest to implement this feature?
So your question is basically inventory is not in the Sitecore commerce. Inventory information is outside of the Sitecore commerce, correct? And how we can achieve that?
No, no, no. See, usually any physical product to sell in the merchandising tool category catalogs, the products will be associated to the inventory saying this many products are available, right?
Correct.
So my question is, let's say a company is selling the services. So for services, we no need to actually track the inventory. I can actually
Okay.
sell
Okay.
infinite number of services.
Yeah. So in that case, you just you don't need to put any check on that. So I haven't come across such thing, but it can happen. True. So I believe you can write some custom code for that
Hmm. Okay.
because yeah, you may have to write some custom code.
Mhm. Okay. So where we this is another question where we can actually see the workflow implementation in XE, like how we do in XP. Basically, I'm not aware of configuring workflows in XE. I just want to know if you have any idea on that.
So see the workflow is in like is already in business tools. Okay, because the commerce related information you are the data you are creating in a business tools. Correct. So inside the business tools, it is already there default the out of the box workflow. So basically, uh, so let me tell you one thing. So once you published, you cannot make any change in the existing entity, commerce entity. So for that, what you need to do, the first thing you have to create a new entity version. Okay, and once you create a new entity version, you have to click on that particular version. Then it will get active, and the status will show you unpublished. Okay, and then whatever you want to make the changes, you can do the changes, and then it will come into the workflow stage. Okay, so from there only you have to go in a commerce business tool. You have to go through with the like you have to send it for the approval. And the approver will approve it, and then you have to publish it. So that way it happened.
Okay. Thanks, Jitendra. This is pretty much from my side. I think you answered most of my questions. Thank you very much. It's really a
Thanks,
useful
Anand.
session.
Thanks, Anand.
Congrats.
Okay, thank you. Anybody has any question? Anindita, it seems like we are done now.
All right, great. If anyone has any other questions, you can reach out to Jitendra directly. I guess his LinkedIn link is up on the screen. So, all right, that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jitendra, and thank you everyone for attending. We'll be sharing the recording on the SUG Mumbai YouTube channel shortly. So, thank you again. If anyone would like to present in the future, please do reach out to me. Thanks, Jitendra.
Thanks, Anindita. Thanks, everyone. Okay, have a good day. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.